Hello there. Good morning. A few things. Yesterday after the class, Joseph and myself, we go for a walk every morning. And I was saying to him, "Oh, I've invented a new move." And he said, "Oh, what is it?" And I said, "It's truck driving." And and he said, "What's that got to do with truck driving?" And then in my head I thought, well, I couldn't really call it cow milking, so it was very funny. So every month we move, and then the next month emerges, and it's like what we do one month is the call or the question for the next. So this is April. It's going to be called Grow, and the idea behind it is the seeds that we plant are the things that we grow. And so, what is it that we're cultivating in our lives, in the choices we're making? I'm just gonna, in my life, my intention is that I want to look at what I'm doing with my time, and if this was a seed, then where will this be going? And so I just want to look at my intention and my life, the choices I'm making, and I'm gonna bring you on the journey with me. So come lie on your back, and let's begin. So lying on your back, your knees are bent, feet are flat on the floor, and just feel the earth beneath you. Nice. And then just begin to sway your knees from side to side. I was thinking about, what has earth brought to us? Where have we gone with earth? And it's all been a lot of belly, hips, and knees. It's all like how this area here moves in spinning, it seems to me. We've done a lot of that, which has been really amazing. So lift your feet off the floor and then do windscreen wipers. So you're windscreen wipering your legs. So you're doing the same movement, kind of, but now you're pointing your toes in towards the right and towards the left. And you're just feeling that, the pointing, pointing, pointing. So here, our feet are lower than our knees. So bring your feet up so they're kind of your knees are bent and your feet are over your knees. It doesn't have to be all that high. And then do the same movement, and suddenly it has a very different. I don't have the same mobility suddenly as the other side. So my feet are higher than my knees. And just feel that. What is this movement like in your body? And then we're going to bring our feet wide, bend your knees slightly so my feet are really apart, and then just spin your right knee in and then come back out. And then try and spin your left knee in and come back out. And then just feel, what might it be like to do both legs? And you're just noticing, your inner thighs, your groins, your belly, all the different places that we're meeting and accessing as we do this spinny movement. Nice. So, next move. So bend your knees and your feet are near your bum. And then roll over onto your right. Keep your feet in the air and bring your right hand underneath your head. Your feet are still in the air. Okay? And then come back to center, heads on the floor. And then roll over onto your left. Your feet are in the air and you're resting on your left hand. If that's not comfortable for your arm, then find some other way to do it. And just do that from side to side. And so what I noticed earlier was that when I keep my head lifted, I move like a big chunk, which is what I want you to do as well. So move like a chunk because your head is in the air. If for any reason your neck doesn't like this, then be creative. Find your way around it. You can just leave your head on the floor and do the same movement. So drop both knees over towards the right. Your feet are in the air. You're resting your head on your hands. And then try and look at the right sole of your foot. Be gentle with your knee, but maybe reach down and just try and pull your foot towards you if that feels like wellness. Okay? Nice. And then the left leg is floating and we're going to start spinning the left leg. So bring the left knee to your right foot and then bring the left foot to your right foot. And so your left leg is spinning in and then it's spinning out. In. And your right leg is floating. Your foot is in the air, so there's engagement through the deep of your groin, the deep of your belly. One more time. Foot touch, knee touch. Great. Roll over to the other side. And then bring your hand underneath your head on the left. Both feet are floating. And then reach down and try and see the sole of your foot on the left foot. Nice. And then you're going to release your foot and spin your right leg. So knee and then foot. Knee and foot. So for me, this is a really jerky movement. I'm like, whoa, this is so jerky. And so I get really excited about funny, jerky movements because it means that my body doesn't really understand something and I have a potential to learn here. I'm like, wow, this is so rich. So wonderful. And then come all the way back. Bring both feet to the floor. Bring your head to the floor. And just rest. So I was thinking as well this morning that this is day 25, and in light, we ended early. We ended on day 25, and I felt a loss for the last 3 days of light, because light was so beautiful. Each one is beautiful. Each one is a unit. And so I'm really looking forward to the last, today and then 3 more days of really deepening into earth. It's very wonderful. So push your feet into the floor, lift your hips up off the floor. And just feel the lift, the rise, and you can keep your arms beside you, or you can drop your arms overhead if that's comfortable with your shoulders, with your neck. Okay, so we're going to try 2 different ways of doing a pelvic tilt. So one, or spinal roll. So roll your spine down along the floor bit by bit by bit. So your ribs come down, your lower back comes down, and then your bum comes down. And then roll back up. So your bum lifts, your lower back lifts, your ribs slowly peel off. If your arms are overhead, make sure your neck is comfortable. If your arms are beside you, make sure your neck is comfortable. So just find the angle, even like maybe out wide is nicer. Make sure, yes, for me, out wide is nicer for my neck. And just feel as you travel up, as you travel down. We're doing a rolling along the spine. So next time you rise up, we're going to do it differently. So you're going to let just your bum touch the floor. So you're going to arch as you go down and your bum taps the floor and then you come back up and then try that again. So your bum is going to touch the floor. So my bum is falling like a stone. It touches the floor and then it rises back up again. And again, bum drops down. Only bum, my lower back is arching now. And then back up. So try both ways. Roll down along your spine. And then travel back up. And then let your bum drop as you arch. And then come back up. So we're doing the cat pose here in our spine. So rolling down along the spine. And then your bum drops, touches the floor, comes back up. Rolling down. And back up. One more time. Let your bum touch, tap, and come back up. That's such fun. That's lovely. So roll over and come into your cat pose. And we're going to do a similar movement with our spine here. So rounding your back. Nice. And then arching your back. And the arching is when your bum just touched the floor. Rounding your back. Arching your back. Nice. One more time. Rounding your back. Arching your back. Cool. Bring your right foot to the outside of your right hand. And so my toes and my fingers are in line with each other. And then bend your knee forward, keeping your heel on the floor. What's the furthest forward your knee can come forward? In wellness is always the deep underlying thing that I'm not saying. And then keep your foot flat. And what's the furthest back you can go? So we're just moving the ankle and the foot deeply as we do this. So my foot is glued to the floor. I was thinking as well that one of the comments I got when we cut light short last month was that somebody in Cork was very disappointed because they really wanted to do the whole 28 days because it was the first time that they were doing all 28. So I hope you've managed to do all 25 so far, my wonderful yogi in Cork, and that you will get all the way to 28. So just travel forward and backwards. Nice. And then, like you're going to try, you've just realized, oh, there's something underneath the sole of my foot. Try and turn your knee out, roll onto the baby toe side of your foot, and then look at the sole of your foot, and then come back up. And again, something on the sole of my foot. Come back up. Something. And come back up. Nice. And then last movement, draw a big circle with your right knee. But actually, what you're trying to do is move your right bum and hip in the most extraordinary direction. Is it a figure of 8 I'm doing with my hip? Kind of feels like it. Even though my knee is making a circle, my hip seems to be making a circle in the opposite direction. So between my knee and my hip, there seems to be a figure of 8 or something like that. Just notice, what is this movement in you? And then change the direction. Just feel like a figure of 8 that I'm drawing. I really feel that your hip and your knee are moving in connection. Nice, change. Both knees to the floor. Wow, that feels very yummy. Cool, other side. Left foot on the floor. Fingers are in line with your toes. And then rock as far forward as you can. And then come back as far as you can, keeping the foot flat on the floor the whole time. So we're really challenging our joints. So when we allow things to lift, there's a kind of an easing of the direct or the force, I'm going to say, or the stretch or the movement. But when we keep things anchored, it makes us meet the deep of the joint. Just feel that you're anchoring through the foot, and then you're traveling everything else. Cool. Come to center. Whoop, there's something underneath the sole of your foot. Roll onto the baby toe side, and then look at your foot, and come back up. Look at your foot. Roll the foot onto the side. Come back up. Roll. And come back up. Nice. Now draw that very awesome circle or figure of 8. What is it that happens? What an intriguing movement. What I love about this journey is that I'm just as surprised as ye at the movements that we make. I'm like, wow, this is so cool. That they seem to follow along from each other in some kind of a pattern that I'm just following along with. It's like, wow, who knew we'd be doing this morning? Nice. And then push back into your downward dog. Stretching back into your heels and just get long through your body. Feel the yum of the length of you. Oh, my clock. Good. Stretching your heels back, and then see if you can travel a little bit forward and a little bit back, but you're going to try and keep your feet in the shape that they are. So just, you're kind of, it's like that anchoring thing we did. So you're not going to be moving far at all. You're just moving your head up and down a little bit and trying to feel how that affects your feet. So then come up onto your toes and then bend your knees deeply into crouching. Draw your heels down in the direction of the floor. Come up onto your toes. Drop your heels. Bend your knees. Nice. One more time. Heels down. Come up onto your toes. Heels down. Bend your knees. Cool. Walk slowly to the front of your mat. Slowly rolling up. Cool. Nice. So reach your arms wide, bring your palms together, reaching up, looking up. Bending your elbows, bending your knees, come all the way down. Hands to the floor, forehead to your knees. Hands to your shins, lift your chest and look forward. Hands to the floor, stretch your right leg back into a lunge. Nice. Step back into a plank. Drop your knees to the floor, lower down. Stretch your right arm out to the side. We were doing this yesterday. So your right hand is flat and out to the side. Your left hand, bring it off your mat with your elbow bent. And then roll gently, listening to your right shoulder. Keep your left leg straight and let your left leg travel a little bit behind you. And then come back down onto your belly. And again, reach with your left foot behind you. And come back. One more time. Reach. Gently. And just pause there. So let it be that you're at your working edge in wellness. Nice. Come all the way back. Elbows to the floor. Push back into your cat. Bring your hands to the floor underneath your shoulders. Round your back. Sit your bum back in the direction of your heels. Keep your back rounded. Travel forward. Rounding. Bring your bum back towards your heels. Rounding. Coming forward. Nice. Arch your back. Rounding. Traveling back. Coming forward. Traveling back. Coming forward. Nice. Tuck your toes under. Lift through your legs. Cool. Slowly walk all the way forward to the front of your mat. Rounding slowly up. Reach your arms wide. Bring your palms together, reaching up. Bending your elbows, bending your knees all the way down. Hands to the floor, forehead to your knees. Hands to your shins. Lift your chest, look forward. Hands to the floor. Stretch your left foot back. Plank or lunge. Step back into a plank. Drop your knees. Lower all the way down. Stretch your left arm out to the side. So what we were doing is this, left arm out to the side, bend your right elbow so your hand is off your mat. And then just roll slowly onto the left side and let your right leg travel a little bit back behind you. And then come back onto your belly. But that thing we were talking about yesterday where you're seeking the wellness in the movements you make. You know, it's like, my belief is the seeds that we sow is what we will harvest. You know, so if you're creating pain now, how is that going to create wellness eventually? It doesn't work that way. So, I'm traveling. And then next time we travel, pause. So you're hearing your body, you're listening to how you move, you're allowing that the whole of you is present, you're not abandoning anything, it's team you. So the whole of you is connected and well. So maybe your leg isn't stretching as much as it could because you're listening to your shoulder. Nice, come all the way back. So bring your elbows to the floor, push back into your cat. And then walk your hands a tiny bit forward from where they are. On the same movement as we did a moment ago. Round your back. Sit your bum back. Rounding, coming forward. Rounding, sitting back. Rounding, coming forward. Arch. Arching, traveling back. Arching, traveling forward. One more time. Arching, traveling back. Arching forward. Nice. Push back into your downward dog. Just feel the length of you, the stretch of you. Have a bit of a wiggle. Nice. And then come to sit on your bum. Just come down, sit on your bum. And if you have your stones handy, that would be amazing. So go grab your stones or whatever objects you're using. You don't even need objects. They're just fun. I like them. And then bring the soles of your feet together and have them far. So there's a close one, which is where maybe my heels are 6 inches from my pubic bone. And we're in the far one. So there's maybe 1.5 feet between my heels and my pubic bone. And just find your sit bones. Maybe rock a little bit from side to side. Feel your sit bones and then sit up tall. And just let everything settle. And then bring both hands in front of you, hold your objects, and then bring your feet a tiny little bit wider. Maybe have 4 inches between your feet, and then lift your bum on the right and drop it down. And then lift your bum on the left. And as I do that, the bum that I'm lifting, the foot rolls towards the floor. So just feel that. So we're doing leg spinning in a different way now. And just feel that you're lifting, foot's pushing into the floor, down, lifting, foot is pushing into the floor and down. And so spinal strength is in all these small movements as well as in being big movements. So lift your right bum, bring your right foot to the floor, and then reach forward and let your stones touch the floor. And then come back. And then reach forward and bring your stones to the right. So you're lifting the left bum. And then just travel slowly from one side and reach as far as you can in wellness forward. Just what would you're sitting down and you have to reach for something. Your hands are in the air. What is your range here? Nice. Knees wide. And then bring both hands over towards the left. Right hand is resting on the left knee. Left hand is on the floor. Nice. And then bring both hands to the right. It's just a gentle twist. And then forward. So years ago, when we were back in classes, the Wednesday night class was this massive, beautiful class. It was slow and mindful. And there was 30 people in the class. So one night I get everyone to stand up. I wasn't really thinking about it. So hold on to a bow and arrow here. Your left hand is the bow. And you're going to pull back the string with the right elbow. So pull it deeply back. And have it so it's near your face. They kind of put the thing beside their face or beside their ear. And so we were standing in class and we were all doing this. And they were all pointing at me. It was one of the most terrifying moments. It was just incredible, the power in people's gesture. Nice, reach forward. And then the other side. Hold the bow with your right hand. Pull the left string back. And feel fierce. Feel Amazonian, warrior, elf, whatever you are. And come all the way back. And just pause. Let that rest in you. You can change the position of your legs. You can stretch them out. Keep them bent. Cross them. Just closing your eyes and find your wellness. And find it really tangibly. It's like right now there's this kind of fluffy, mobile feeling through the rib cage and shoulder blades for me. I'm like, so yum. So find yours. Connect to it in a place in your body. And just be grateful for present time awareness of your wellness. Nice, guys. You can drop your stones. I would say lie on the floor for a while. It's really nice. Just lie there a few minutes, let yourself rest and settle, or travel off into your day. So beautiful. Such an adventure. And I will see you all tomorrow. How glorious. Right. And as always, if you're enjoying yoga, if you're feeling benefit, it's €10 for the month. And yeah, it's just really, it really supports that we can continue this. So you can do it PayPal, Revolut, you can put it in the post, you can email us at info@nother.com, and we will tell you, what's the easiest, or support you in finding the easiest way for you. Ciao, guys. Be great, be good, and see you all tomorrow. Oh, just one more time, because it was just so beautiful. Grow. Let's all grow together. Beautiful.